It was an action-packed stage with a few leg stingers for the riders to get used to. Stage 2 of the OVO Energy Tour of Britain provided a few thrills and spills. Whilst the winner was Cameron Meyer, the Commonwealth Time Trial champion, it was Andy Tennant who was unfortunately affected by a crash. He was fine after the stage, but we caught up with him just to see how he was and how his mood was.
Andy, it doesn't look like you've had a great stage 2. Can you just tell us what's happened?
Yeah, it wasn't the ideal stage 2. Obviously, I'm ready for Fright Night at Fort Park and Alton Towers right now. So, yeah, my costume's ready. It was just a practice. Essentially, we was just down in descent and someone locked up with too much front brake. It was one of the Alpecin guys, and then that was on the right hand side. Then everyone sort of panics, grabs their front brakes, and a few more locked up, and then I got sort of smashed into the bramble bush. So yeah, me and the bramble bush had a day.
But all okay though?
Yeah, all okay. It just makes a good Instagram selfie. So.
The stage started in Cranbrook, a new town. It's only 6 years old, but they've already got their own cycling club and they've already hosted a start of the OVO Energy Tour of Britain. I caught up with Paul, a member of Cranbrook Cycling Club, to see his thoughts and why he thought it was such a great idea that the Tour of Britain started in his hometown.
Yeah, it's great. I've been cycling for 10 years anyway, but the club itself is fantastic. There's all different abilities, men, women, and also there's a bit for everybody. Time trials or Sunday socials with a coffee, maybe a beer afterwards. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
Are you going to stay just at the start to watch today, or are you going to ride out and watch somewhere else on the route?
No, there's a group of us going to try and get up to Long Drag up at Tiverton, and we got the bread and the cheese and the wine, and yeah, it's fantastic. It's such a fantastic day with some of the world's top riders here. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
3 of our continental riders were very familiar with today's roads. George Pym of Madison Genesis was inspired to ride his bike at the Tour Series, which was in Exeter in 2009, and now he's here already riding at the Tour of Britain. Whilst Max Stedman of Canyon Iceberg, he went to university at Exeter, so was very familiar with the start of the stage. And Tom Bayliss resides in Devon, so we caught with all 3 to see what they thought and their post-race reactions too.
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, I started cycling, I was watching races like this, so yeah, to be here in Devon is really special. I'm really looking forward to it.
And what will the home crowd be like? How will it give you an advantage, and also knowing the roads?
Yeah, I think knowing the roads is going to be one thing. Sort of some of them are quite technical, knowing the climbs, knowing how long you have to suffer for is going to be good. And then also just having the crowd, sort of, hopefully some of them will be shouting my name, so yeah, that was good.
Aims for the rest of the week?
So we got 2 guys in Connor and Matt who will be looking for the GC, and then 4 of us will be trying to help them or trying to get into the break. So I think for this stage I'll just be trying to get into the breakaway.
Yeah, it is kind of surreal. I didn't think 4 years ago when I started at Exeter that the likes of Geraint Thomas and Chris Froome and all the World Tour professionals would be riding around. Basically, yeah, my training roads I've ridden hundreds of times. So yeah, it's quite surreal and quite exciting, yeah.
And a stage that should suit you well, lots of climbing, and you're a great climber and you hope to be up there today.
Yeah, 100%. I knew as soon as they said it was coming to Devon, it was always going to be hard. They always try and make it hard. They've had Hay Tour a few years, but North Devon is a beautiful part of the country, and it'll be scenic, and yeah, really hilly, tough final 60k, and even the start is pretty horrendous. So it'll be one for the GC day, I think, and one for the climbers, so I'm looking forward to it.
And you've got a Skoda KOM after 6 kilometres. How is that going to work out? Are you going to hope that the breakaway's gone first, or?
Yeah, it could either be really hectic and you get the GC guys sort of involved because that's the way the racing is going, or it could just the break goes at the bottom of the climb and that could be it. So it could be either or at the start of this. I don't know how much the World Tour boys want a big hard day out, but sometimes you just can't control what happens at the start of these races. But I think the team's looking to get someone in the break and hopefully go for these KOM jerseys and sprints jerseys as well. So yeah, that's what we go today.
It's wicked, yeah, incredibly lucky to have not just won but 2 home stages this year. Like you said, in my debut Tour of Britain, so I've got friends and family out here at the start watching and throughout the stage today, so it's a good day to try and do something.
And you're actually born in Somerset, so tomorrow's stage is another home stage for you,
Yeah.
so you're going to have more family and friends there too.
Yeah, exactly.
How does that inspire you whilst riding your bike and on the road?
I don't know how to answer that. I think it's just like an extra boost really to try and do, you know, a good ride for everybody. Obviously, like my family have supported me since I started, so if they're out there on the roads watching it, you know, it's extra motivation to dig a bit deeper.
And on today's stage, where do you think the key point will be?
Straight away, straight after the deneutralisation, so it goes down a real fast descent and then straight up the first KOM where it goes up to 20%, and it's definitely got the potential to split straight away. So tired.
How was that?
Absolutely brutal, yeah. What I expected it to be honest.
What you predicted at the start though, the local knowledge and everything paid off getting second in that first KOM.
Yeah, well the problem was I followed Scott up that first KOM and we had a gap, but then a group came up to us and two guys went over the top and just got a little bit swarmed and needed the numbers in the team up there really to make that group. But yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
Good though, good fans, good support.
Brilliant fans. Yeah, Devon stage is always wicked, so yeah, cheers to everybody for coming out.
Looking forward to tomorrow now, another home stage.
Yeah, a little bit shorter as well, which would be nice, so a bit more recovery for this one.
Have you ever wondered what it must be like to ride your bike on your birthday, and especially in a bike race like the Tour of Britain? We caught up with Jempy Drucker as he celebrated his birthday on stage 2.
Jempy, happy birthday! What does it feel like to ride your bike during the race here at the Tour of Britain?
Yeah, I think as a cyclist you're pretty used to it, to be away from your family and home. But yeah, I think in Britain it's nice to celebrate the birthday.
A number of you watching this will know and recognise Joe Fisher. He would get you motivated at the starts and finishes, and he only lives 200 metres away from where this race started today. We got his reaction and what his thoughts were of having the Tour of Britain come to his hometown.
Yes, I wasn't involved last year, but because it's in my hometown, I literally live about 200 metres behind me. And the council asked if I could come and be part of it and do the kind of preamble before the race. But yeah, brilliant. It's so exciting and such an honour to have the Tour of Britain, the biggest bike race in the country, right here in our little town. It's a brand new town. It's the first town to be built in Devon since the Middle Ages. I think it's the newest town in the country still at the moment. So yeah, it's really good.
And what does it mean? Many towns are wanting to host the Tour of Britain at the start or a finish. Cranbrook's only 6 years old and it's already had the start of the Ovo Energy Tour of Britain.
It's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers. And I'm part of a Facebook group for Cranbrook. We've got most of the residents are on there, and people were just like, what is going on? You know, we don't quite get it, but we understand that, you know, we want to promote Devon as more than just cream teas. Do you know what I mean? It's more than just old people retiring. It's lively, it's exciting, loads of new families. We've got the second highest population of under 4s per capita in the whole of the country. It's a real family place.
And today they've been giving out porridge with healthy toppings, fruit, nuts, seed, giving incentives for an active, healthier life for adults and children. How does that, and how would the Tour of Britain inspire those children and adults to carry on that process?
Well, Cranbrook is a healthy town. That's the whole point. You know, it's a brand new town. It's one of the 10 healthy towns in the country. We really want to push that and make Cranbrook and the people of Cranbrook as healthy as possible. And if you start young, you know, hopefully that attitude, that understanding, that lifestyle will grow with them.
And as ever, the fans were absolutely delighted when they saw Team Sky. They hung around after the finish for a while, signing autographs and having selfies. G and Chris Froome. It was great to see, and everyone was absolutely delighted. Well, that's all for us on stage 2 and episode 2 of Beyond the Finish Line. Make sure you're following us on the hashtag OVOTOB. Watch us live from 11 o'clock every day, and yeah, stay tuned, subscribe and watch us.